All right, so I am making one of my Surge series for Jamie Bebb of theharpery.com because Jamie is the one who so graciously cut me these spring steel reed blanks on his shear at home and sent them to me for me to try out and start making real harps. And this one here has become my absolute favorite harp. It's made with I tried the 1075 25 thou thickness that he sent me. And the reason why I did that was because I wanted a more flexible reed to work with for my first time trying it out, but one that was thicker in case I messed up a little bit on grinding and I had a little bit more meat to kind of hide mistakes if I had to. The frame ended up being kind of a mistake, the result of a bunch of experiments and stuff. The notches in there, which I try to, it's to represent like a voltage surge. So that's like a lightning bolt kind of thing. So I like that design. I thought it looks cool. So I'm going to put that into Jamie's frame too, of course. And the narrowness of it just came from me kind of smashing away and trying to get the right taper and all that stuff. This time I've got a much more refined process for making it. This one's going to end up having a little bit wider of a back end of it, whatever the technical term for that part of the frame is, just because I had an easier time making it the shape I wanted it to be. But also it is going to fit a little bit more comfortable in the hand, I think, whereas this one's a bit more narrow. I can only kind of hold this in, if I want to do percussive type playing and muting, I have to really adjust my hold. Otherwise it's very comfortable like this, but I can't switch between the two different styles of play, percussive or melodic. So perhaps that might be a different case with this. We'll see, but I think just overall it will be a bit more comfortable in the hand. And I don't know how this came out, right? Because I did have, I don't know, whatever. It's gonna be a little bit of a bigger frame too, so maybe a bit bassier. But one thing that I saw, or Jamie had mentioned on one of his videos that I'd never tried yet, is a taper width or thickness wise along the reed. So what I'm going to try and do is put that taper in there so I can get a mid-range sound out of a little bit bigger of a harp. So we're going to see how this goes. Okay, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I'm going to try some heat coloring on this guy too. I was going to leave the frame shiny, well, not shiny, but textured, stainless or steel color, and not heat treated or heat colored, and just leave the reed heat colored. But the reed didn't quite come out exactly the way I was hoping. So I'm going to try it. Why not? Go big or go home. All right, while the frame is still hot and cooling, I'm hoping to get the crimp done, but I wanted to go over some of the technical aspects of the harp first before I go into it. First being is to look at the reed channel, if you can. As you can see, it is on a triangular shape. Zoom in on that. And that should help with the crimp, for a nice secure crimp. And I've done some heat coloring. I wasn't going to, but I'm really happy with this. I love the blues. So I think that's going to look cool. And heat coloring as well on the reed. A bit of engraving meant to make it look like electricity. And I've honed two sides, so it's like a knife blade. I was considering doing the chiseled way, but I just thought it would look better on the reed this way with the coloring. So yeah, and we're gonna go for it. Now I'm gonna leave it right at the mark. It doesn't quite fit snug, but it fits flat. So I'm gonna leave it there and I'm gonna crimp this way. We'll see how she goes. Okay, Mr. Bebb, this is your harp using your 1095 20 thou thick spring steel reed, 3/16 piece of key stock that I found from our local Canadian Tire here up in Canada. It was just a cheap piece of galvanized stuff that I stripped this galvanizing off of and shaped and put tooling marks in. So the finish is, I used the grinding wheel, that guy right there, for the textured finish on the back end. I thought it looked cool. I also used that on the reed. And after I did that with the reed, so that was an idea I had for, this is my Inuit inspired harp that I'm going to be giving to my friend who lives up on Baffin Island. So done some engraving and stuff on that one. I will be releasing some material on this harp as well. This one's really bassy, but anyway, Arctic Thunder is the name of that one. This guy here is my Surge series. And so anyway, what I did was I then heat colored the reed and used my Dremel to engrave electricity, a lightning bolt pattern into both sides of the reed. I wasn't originally going to heat color the frame, but then I thought, why not? It needed it. I was happy the way it turned out. Very happy with my crimp. This is probably the best crimp I've done yet. I think it looks good. I feel like I nailed it. It wound out really good. Minimal adjustments. These are the tightest gaps I've gotten yet. Super happy with that. Again, the reed was sharpened on both sides like a knife. And then I almost messed up a little bit. I was just trying to tune it up a little bit. This harp did come out a bit bassier than I was hoping. I was going for more of a mid-range thing. But it's got a really nice bass sound to it now, and a bit of a recurve trigger. A little shorter than I was originally going for, but I don't know. I think it does play nice, and you'll be happy with it. Let's see how it sounds. So again, this is my second ever Boxcar Surge. And this one came out bigger than the original with a wider back end and slightly different trigger shape, size. Minimal decoration on this one, but the same tooth pattern filed into the sides. And yeah, just an overall bigger harp. So here's the original sound of mine. Surge number 1. Introducing Surge number 2. I'm pretty happy with it. I hope you are too. I think it sounds pretty good. I'll play it for a couple of days, see if I end up doing any more adjustments to it, but I don't know. Might be it. Oh yeah, a couple more things I just wanted to mention about the harp. You might notice that I put the crimp on the opposite side of what tends to be normally done, and the reason for that is because I like to pluck outwards, and so I feel like in the direction that the reed will be primarily plucked, it's going against the flat surface on the crimp of the frame, and I just feel like that maybe is a bit better on the reed. I have no real other reasoning or proof or evidence to support that, other than I know that most harps are built the other way and tend to be played inwards, and inwards is softer on the reeds or easier on the reeds. So anyway, that's my theory. But I also decided that that's going to be one of my signature things, having the crimp on the opposite side. I've only seen one other harp, actually, one mass-produced one that my dad gave me in my collection that's like that. And I think you might have made one that way too for somebody for a similar reason. But anyway, unless specifically requested, that's going to be one of my signature things. But the other thing that I wanted to talk about too, because I was going on about the finish, is that even though it's tooled for here, and then I've sanded it down as finely as I could where your teeth are going to go, using 600 grit. I don't have anything finer than that right now. And the inside surfaces of the decks, I believe they're called, I used my axe file. So I've got a nice smooth sharp edge on the inside angles of the keystock. And I don't feel like the video and pictures are doing this harp justice. I think you're going to be really pleased with it. I am anyway, for the amount of harps that I've made, and to be able to come up with something like this already, I'm very happy with myself. Very pleased. So I hope you enjoy this one. It came together so well. I almost messed up the trigger a little bit, saved the shape of it. I think it still looks good. Yeah, so I almost don't want to let this one go, but this one is for you to have a look at, and let me know if there's things that I can improve on. One thing I do want to say is that I intended for this to be a higher note in more of a mid-rangey sort of place. I'm finding that all my harps that are about this size are coming out bassy like that. I know it's definitely got to be because of the length of the reed and stuff. So if you've got some tips on how I can maybe keep this size but raise the tone a little bit more, that'd be awesome. But as far as bass harps go, I'm pretty pleased with how these are coming out. So yeah, I'll let you hear the Arctic Thunder too. Let's turn this around and get an ear on these. Okay, so this was my Arctic Thunder, which is the Inuit inspired one that I was talking about. I've been talking to my buddy's friend who's Inuit, and she's given me in the Inuktitut language the syllabic writing for, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Makati, and then there's the name for what a jaw harp is in Inuit, or in Inuktitut. So that's my buddy's nickname is Makati. It means hunter, and then the word for jaw harp. And she told me that. So what I've done some Arctic. It's going to be hard to see probably, but I've done some Arctic engraving, things that just inspired me from. I've been up there before, not to Nunavut where he lives, but she's told me. So if you see there, I put a whale tail there because she told me that the jaw harp was introduced to the Inuit by British sailors, the whalers. So that's a little bit of history there. It's become one of their traditional instruments that they've adopted, I guess, like the harmonic accordion, and the jaw harp is one of them. And she's actually a throat singer, an Inuit throat singer, and I'm hoping that this nice bassy low sound is going to be good for her voice. Like she's really good as far as throat singing comes. She's sung for Queen Elizabeth before. So anyway, this is Arctic Thunder. This is a gift from my buddy up there. He's one of the first supporters of my harp making who showed any interest in wanting a handmade Boxcar Betts jaw harp. So this was using your 1075 20 thou thickness reed material. The reason being is I don't think he's played one before, so I wanted it nice and flexible and easy for him to play. But it came out super bassy, which again I think is going to be nice for the throat singing. And then this one's yours. This is Surge number 2, and I am really happy with how this one came out. I think you'll have some fun with this one. Cheers, Jamie. Thanks again for all the harp tips and the material and stuff like that. And I hope you enjoy this one.